Hey, how are you tonight? So it's going to be the first video in the series of Friends of a Feather collection. So if you don't know what that is, if you either check on my website or in the catalog, there is a thing called Chalk Stories. So it's like basically a series of transfers that goes together. Oh, I didn't grab the other piece to this. But this is like a shiplap looking birdhouse. Thought I grabbed all the pieces and this one. So they all kind of coordinate. So it's nice if you want to do a whole set of coordinating things. But tonight we're actually not chalking. So I have a different kind of project. Let me just put these over here so I don't wreck them because I'm kind of making like a huge mess tonight. And just one other thing I want to talk about before we started. Let me just see if it shows that I'm live yet. No, it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. So Club Couture. Whoa. All right, so this was, oh my God, a project that I made in the VIP group as I almost like kill myself there. So this was the one for this month. So it was the typewriter, and then it came with making it up as I go. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. So I did this so that it's like a two-dimensional project. I don't know why I can't like turn this the right way tonight. So now I'm all distracted. So yeah, so I made a little two-dimensional project, and all I did to do that was, well, you can see the video in the VIP group if you're in there. This is just a piece of like that chalkboard kind of board from the hardware store, and I cut it out with my saw. He's laughing at me. Oh my God. That actually would have been probably really funny if I did a ball. So yeah, anyway. So pretty soon you won't be able to get this transfer. So at the end of the month. And oh my gosh. And yeah, so you can sign up. It's $19.99 a month, and you just have to commit to 3 months. So it's nice, and it's a surprise what the transfer is every month. So okay, my little spiel there. Oh my gosh. All right, let me just refresh this page here. And hopefully this thing cooperates with me. Should be, I just saw it say live. This chair is seriously driving me crazy because the amount of times I tripped over the little like wheels on the bottom. I don't know. Maybe I just need to like learn how to walk. All right. And again, a beautiful opening shot of me when you see the video. I don't know why Facebook always does that. Okay, let me just share this. Oh my gosh. Da, da, da. Okay. Oh my God. Well, at least like none of my friends will see that. They just got the notification that I'm live. Oh my God. All right. So I have been like making a huge mess in here all day, but let me just tip the camera down and we'll get started. And hopefully the camera doesn't fall out of the freaking holder. That's my other problem. So we're going to be making a bird's nest. So this was the one I was trying out, but I actually, as I made this, I kind of figured out a couple of better things. Let's see if it may have been on the screen because it looks all crazy on the computer. So yeah, basically I just, picked up some sticks and made a bird's nest. But so all the projects this week are going to relate to those transfers. So this is kind of like the different, like the, kind of different one. But let me just get started. So I did do like a bunch of things first because, I'm sure like a bird can build a bird's nest way better than me and way faster than me. So, all right, like literally I have sticks. My initial idea was to use like a little grapevine wreath. However, I thought I had a little tiny wreath, so I was gonna turn the little tiny wreath into a bird's nest. But this is the smallest one that I have, and this would make a pretty big bird's nest. It'll be like, for like, I don't know, well, not a bald eagle, but like, it's pretty big. So I kind of just started by just making a base. I guess this, I mean, other than like the hot glue gun, you know, this would be a good project for kids. Definitely make sure your sticks, you know, aren't like covered in bugs. I don't plan on keeping this in the house. I'm just gonna put it like out, I don't know, as a decoration in the yard or something. Maybe a bird will move into it. Because I am kind of like afraid of it having bugs. I mean, I didn't see anything on these sticks, but there you go. Some of them. So this must be, this one's not dried out. Okay, so I just took a bunch of sticks and kind of, you know, formed out, you know, a sort of circular shape. Try to avoid getting it to be, you know, too square. And, you know, and letting the pieces kind of like overhang too. So I was just doing that. Oops. And hold on, my cord's a little short here. And just gluing them. Not even, you know, going crazy with the glue, because once we do the next part, it'll, and I do have like my little sticks here. My sticks that I bought to, oh my god, this does not want to come out of here. That I kind of push the glue with. So yeah, I have like these, just so I don't do that and burn my fingers. Actually, this glue gun isn't super hot. Some of them are like really hot. All right. So I just kind of do that, and then, you know, take some other, you know, other pieces, kind of just work your way around it. And I'm not even worried about like the glue showing or anything at this point. We're just trying to, you know, do our little construction of the base. Okay. And I like, you know, the sticks that have like, well, not like, you know, fungus on them or anything, but, you know, a little interest to them. You know, it'll make your project a little more interesting. Okay. I just want to lift this up before it glues itself to the board. So just kind of hold, you know, some of the places that you just glued, just so that it doesn't come apart. And now I'm just going to go back and kind of put little dabs of glue on the other side. So yeah, this is like what I did today. I don't know how many people sit around making bird nests, but a bird house, yes. All right. So, and I did like make some other pieces, so you're not gonna like see me sit here for 5 hours doing this. All right, I just want this to cool so that it stops sticking to my fingers. Let me just slide that up. Now, this is the other, let me just, so I don't knock everything down here. So this is my little station that I made for, so I didn't have any moss, like that Spanish moss kind of stuff. You can get it in the craft store, and it's a type of moss that grows, I know it grows in Florida, in the trees, and it kind of looks like hair, like hanging out of the trees. So I didn't have any of that, and I'm like, I'm not going to the store. So I just took like garden twine, and this is the kind that is, it's not like soft, and it's just, it's very strong even though it's super thin. And I'll show you what I did. So I just kind of cut different lengths of it, and I took it and I just started pulling it apart. Initially I started with some kind of rope stuff that I bought for a different project, and it looked like I took rope. At least this, it kind of has like the look of like dried grasses, or, you know, I don't know, more outdoorsy stuff. So yeah, I just kind of pulled it apart and made like little cuts in it, and just, you know, and I made like a huge mess. So that's why it's good that I'm in my own little craft / crap room. And so I'll just kind of show you at the end here. Okay, so pretend I did that whole string. And then because this is so, there's so much contrast between this and the sticks, it's so bright. See, like that's what you could see on this one. I didn't really like how it stood out so much. So what I decided to do was I just have some little makeup sponges, but you could use brushes, whatever. And I had some brown paint, which now it's all dried up. Oh, it's right here. I'll just show you. Okay, so I had some brown paint. You could add a little water to it, it's probably easier. And I just kind of dabbed it on. My hands were like totally filthy. And I just went along, you know, along the whole like spread out piece like that. Then I also have, this is just, I get like those, the sample paints at the hardware store, especially when they're like the Oops paint. Those are like my favorite paints, because they're like really cheap. It's so much cheaper than buying craft paint. I mean, obviously you don't have a choice in the color, but even to buy it and have them make the color for you, it still comes out cheaper. So this is one of those paints, and I have it like watered down, and I actually use this for like faux staining, I guess you could call it. So I just kind of dabbed it all along there just to kind of take away some of the like brightness of the rope. And just flip it to the other side too, because it, you know, I don't know. It's still bright on the other side. That's actually, this is like what I used to make this table. I washed this on their stain, and I think I didn't like how it came out, and I wiped it off, and then I painted it white, and then I sanded it, which I have to redo this tabletop because it has lots of little marks on it, because I also use it to photograph my stuff after I make it. Alright, let me just get this out of the way so that I don't make a huge mess. So other things you could do, you could add like little pieces of yarn and like other strings, because birds are, you know, birds are pretty smart. They, you know, pick stuff up like that all the time. You know, when I used to do a lot of knitting, a lot of like the, I don't know, like little like knitting newsletters and stuff. That's what you do with your little scraps of yarn, you know, like pieces that are like this long. You go and you like put them outside in the winter for the birds. See, you know, you didn't know you're gonna learn something tonight. Okay, so this is the one we just did. I made like a little bottom. You know, and obviously this isn't, you know, how a bird would make this, but you know, we're kind of, so we want to have like a little bit of, you know, depth to it. Alright, so let me just kind of see how we want to put this on here. And I like having like the sticks like pointing up. Like you can see in this one, I have like a couple of sticks that, I don't know, just stick up, and not trying to make it perfect and round, because that's not like how a bird would make it. Okay, so I kind of like that in there. Alright. So I'm like literally just going to put a couple little globs of glue on there. And they are not even close to where that goes. right. And you could, if you know it wasn't quite balanced how you wanted it, you could put another stick in there, which I think I'm gonna do because there's like a big gap there. And that just went everywhere. All right, just because there's kind of nothing to glue this side to, that's all. Okay, and then we'll put this. Now when I did that one, I just kind of kept going, but I just didn't want to keep everybody for, you know, hours here. Alright, and the next step we do too is gonna like help hold it together more. And just kind of squish it together. And I took, let's see, and just kind of come in some of those spots where it's lifting apart. All right, let's see. Gluing my fingers to it. And don't worry about the strings of glue either. They'll kind of blend in with everything we add in there. Let's see. Okay, so I just want to get a couple points to anchor it. All right, so now, so these are just those pieces that I kind of spread out and made them so they weren't as bright. I have a couple little pieces of kind of yarn stuff. Or I don't know. I don't remember which thing I got that from. So now this, I'm not even really worried about gluing it in at this point. I have like so much glue stuck on my fingers. But I'm just kind of shoving it in there. And it's gonna be like a little messy, which is fine. Because we're gonna kind of push it through some of these openings. Starting to look like a bird's nest. You just want to be careful of like blunt ends like that because you don't want it to be, you want it to look more natural. Just kind of form it around. Something else I did too with the other one. This is just like, like a leaf from, you know, oh my gosh, I can't even think. Just an extra leaf off of another project. So I took them just so that I don't have to fill so much in there, which I literally just like ripped it off of another project. I'm just kind of using it to like kind of fill the bottom in, which is, you know, again, that's what they're going to be getting. You know, getting things to make their nest. Hopefully I could do this without burning my fingers. Okay, so I'm just taking my little pokey stick. It also adds a little interest, I think, to the nest. But this way, there's not as much to fill in with the grass. With our faux grass, I should say. And I'm just gonna put it like along the bottom here too. So we'll kind of just, see, this is how that other stuff is gonna get kind of glued in because I'm gonna be dripping glue through. Oops, probably that side is a little better. Okay, so that's making that fill up a little bit better there. And we'll still kind of put a little of this stuff there. So, and I cut these pieces like all different lengths, so, you know, so it didn't look too, you know, too alike. And really, like, I didn't use much glue. I just kind of put this through, kind of wound it around, because I feel like that's what the birds do. They go and they collect, and if I had some way to make little eggs, that would also have been really cute. But the only eggs that I have are those plastic ones from Easter, and they're like probably the size of the nest. So now this is just like a piece of, I think, a different twine. So I'm just gonna kind of take it and just poke it through different places. It's like wanting to stick to my stick though. So this is kind of like somebody scrolling through thinking they're gonna see a chalk project, and they're like, what the heck is that girl doing? And it also, it's, you know, adds a little brightness, since we got rid of all the brightness by painting I like this one so much better than the first one. Just saying, it looks more, I mean, maybe this is a little kind of crazy, but it's a crazy bird. He's all set if he wants to put an addition on for here. I was kind of thinking it looked more with all the sticks. I feel like it looks more like a squirrel nest. Okay, I'm gonna give this a little glue to kind of help that stay in there. Again, I glued my finger. And the same thing with like the little pieces of, you know, the other string or yarn. I kind of just like pulled them apart so that they were all like frayed, you know, frayed looking. Let's see, use more of this. I feel like I have this stuff like stuck all over me. So I think this will be really cute to, at the end, to put all the projects together. I'm just kind of separating this a little more. And I'll do like my little table that I have behind me. And then when we do the next, because I also want to do, I have another series I want to do with all the bee stuff. So I think that will be, that'll be good, another good one. I feel like these collections are really nice because I look at it like the way I am about clothes. I can see an outfit on somebody and be like, that looks really nice. But I can't go to the store and grab like a bunch of things and be like, and make my own outfit. I am like the person who has to go and like buy it off, like see it on a mannequin and be like, okay, I'll just get that. Because I'm like, I don't know how to put outfits together. So this is kind of on that same thing of putting, like having a theme. I mean, obviously this is a, you know, isn't with chalk couture. I could always do one of my little birds, do the bird and put it in there. Because I have those too for one of the projects. So let's see. So I have glue strings everywhere. So I'm just going to add some to the bottom side so we can kind of hide some of this glue and, you know, my little stick construction. So when I was looking at pictures, like how to do this, I had like no idea. There's so many different, I mean, obviously there's so many different types of birds, but like you think of like a bird's nest and you kind of, I don't know, I never really thought about it, I guess. But there are ones that like, they're so cute. They look like little like hanging baskets. It's pretty neat. And to think they like do this and they don't have hands. No opposable thumbs. All right, so I'm just kind of getting this on here. say I'm trying to hide the glue and then I'm making a glob of it. I don't know, maybe I'll like hang it or something on my 3-season porch. I'm just gonna fill in some of these other spots on this side. When I was trying this stuff out before, I'm like, oh, it just made me want to like make a wreath. I don't know. But I don't have any stuff. Like, I mean, I have some flowers, but they're all like kind of random. Same thing with all my ribbon. I have a lot of Christmas ribbon. I'm like, because everything is closed. And if you order anything online, it's not going to be here until who knows when. At least anything like this. Plus I'm trying to not really spend money too, since I'm not working. Alright, I'm running out of stuff, so. Alright, so just kind of keep this inner part kind of like cup shaped. And maybe I have another leaf here. I had more pieces of leaves. I'm just gonna kind of put these on the bottom so that you can't see through the bird nest. Now there's gonna be, oh, yep, I guess we'll go that way. And we're like almost done. Granted, that took me like a little bit of time to prepare this like beforehand, but more so because you have to like glue and then hold it, and you know, it's not really a very time-consuming project, but we'll just add some of this in there. It's funny, on my phone when I put in the little like bird emojis with the title, they look totally different than on the computer. So I was surprised there's not really any bird emojis. There's like the bald eagle, which we're not making a bald eagle nest because that would be like bigger than the table. You could also do this to actually put it in a wreath if you wanted to. Because, you know, you don't want to take one, obviously, you know, from the wild. You don't know if there's a bird coming back to it or what. Alright, I'm just gonna... it's like keeps sticking on there. Alright, we're not gonna worry about that. Okay. So yeah, like if you had a wreath, granted this would be way too small, you could always put it right in a wreath and then decorate the wreath and have the bird's nest sitting in there. But, so that is my random project for tonight, but it's not going to seem so random after the next couple of lives, because we'll be making all things bird related. Wow, see, big difference. That one's way better. But thanks so much for watching, and have a great night.